If you're a fan of thrillers, then you need to hear this jaw-dropping real-life survival story. It's a tale of courage, quick thinking, and the unbreakable bond of family. Imagine being in the heart of New York, a bustling city that never sleeps, and suddenly finding yourself in the path of a monstrous hurricane. This is the story of one man's determination to protect his loved ones against all odds. Once upon a time in New York, a city known for its towering skyscrapers and vibrant streets, the unthinkable happened. The weather forecast had been ominous for days, but no one could have predicted the sheer magnitude of the storm that was about to hit. A man received a chilling warning on his phone. The alert was clear and urgent. A level 5 hurricane was on its way, and it was heading straight for his neighborhood. The gravity of the situation hit him like a ton of bricks. A level 5 hurricane was barreling towards his family, and he had mere minutes to act. The clock was ticking and every second counted. He knew that the safety of his family depended on his ability to stay calm and think fast. With a sense of urgency, he sprang into action. He had to make sure his family was safe, and that meant getting them out of harm's way as quickly as possible. The streets were already starting to flood, and the wind was picking up speed. He rushed to tell his family about the impending danger. His heart pounded in his chest as he burst through the front door, shouting for everyone to gather in the living room. The look of panic on his face was enough to convey the seriousness of the situation. But his two sisters laughed it off, thinking it was just another prank. They had grown up with his playful antics, and didn't take him seriously. His wife, however, froze in terror as the news confirmed their worst fears. She knew her husband wouldn't joke about something like this. 4 minutes later, chaos erupted. The massive hurricane crashed in, its fury unimaginable. The wind howled like a banshee, and the rain came down in sheets. The power went out, plunging the house into darkness. Everyone was paralyzed with fear, unsure of what to do next. The massive hurricane crashed in, its fury unimaginable. The sheer force of the wind was enough to rip trees from the ground and send debris flying through the air. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare. Everyone was paralyzed with fear. The sound of the storm was deafening, and the house shook with every gust of wind. It felt like the world was coming to an end. Determined to protect his family, the man sprang into action. He knew he couldn't let fear paralyze him. He had to be strong for his wife and children. The man sprang into action. He grabbed a flashlight and started moving through the house, checking windows and doors to make sure they were secure. He knew that any weak point could be a potential entry for the storm. He scrambled to secure their home, using whatever he could find to reinforce the windows and doors. He moved with a sense of urgency, knowing that time was running out. Setting up barriers with trembling hands, he used furniture, boards, and anything else he could find to create makeshift barricades. In the frantic rush, he sustained minor injuries, but he refused to let pain slow him down. His focus was solely on keeping his family safe. He sustained minor injuries, but he refused to let pain slow him down. He knew that every second counted, and he couldn't afford to waste any time. The wind roared, windows shattered, and the house creaked under the pressure. It was a battle against nature, and he was determined to win. But he kept pushing forward. He moved from room to room, making sure that every possible entry point was secured. His determination was unwavering. His wife shielded their children, trying to stay calm amidst the storm's wrath. She held them close, whispering words of comfort and reassurance. She knew that her husband was doing everything he could to protect them. Trying to stay calm amidst the storm's wrath, the family huddled together in the safest part of the house. They could hear the wind howling outside and the sound of debris hitting the walls, but they tried to stay strong for each other. As the hurricane unleashed its full power, time seemed to stretch into eternity. Every minute felt like an hour, and the storm showed no signs of letting up. Time seemed to stretch into eternity. The storm raged on, and the family could do nothing but wait and hope that their makeshift barricades would hold. But when the storm finally passed, there they stood, shaken but safe. The house was damaged, but it had held up against the storm. The family emerged from their hiding place, grateful to be alive. There they stood, shaken but safe. In that moment, they realized that true strength lies not in muscle, but in heart. They had faced the storm together and come out the other side. True strength lies not in muscle, but in heart. The family's close call with a level 5 hurricane was an intense reminder that courage, love, and quick thinking can turn the tide of any storm. Family's close call with a level 5 hurricane, an intense reminder that courage, love, and quick thinking can turn the tide of any storm. They knew that they had been lucky, but they also knew that their preparation and quick thinking had made a difference. An intense reminder that courage, love, and quick thinking can turn the tide of any storm. The family learned valuable lessons from their ordeal. They knew that they needed to be better prepared for future emergencies, and that they couldn't take anything for granted. Courage and love in the midst of a hurricane. The family's bond had been tested, and they had come out stronger. They knew that they could face anything as long as they had each other. Stay safe, stay prepared, and never underestimate the power of nature. the family made a vow to always be ready for whatever challenges came their way. They knew that they couldn't control the weather, but they could control how they responded to it, and never underestimate the power of nature. The hurricane had been a stark reminder of the forces beyond their control, but it had also shown them the power of human resilience and the strength of the human spirit.